These are 15 of your favorite study techniques, and I've tested each of them to show you the best ones to continue and the worst ones you should probably dump. You see, people are suckers for finding the best in everything, whether it's the best place to eat, the best place to find clothes, or even the best dance routine on TikTok right now. That looks weird. That is why I've sacrificed more than 5 years of my life to figure out the best study methods for you. And the fun part, all of these study techniques will be competing against one another, and I'll be ranking them using this scale. The one who ranks the best at the end of the video wins the world's best certified study technique award. Yes, I worked hard on this. But I'm telling you, you're not mentally prepared for who takes this award. And that's where we're starting with the Pomodoro technique. For most people, the Pomodoro technique is a 25-minute period of deep work or focus, followed by a 5-minute period of break. Well, that sounds like crap to me. Because what if I just started getting into my flow in the 20-50 minutes? So you're telling me to cut that off just because my tomato or my tree timer went off? Absolutely not. And don't even get me started on the break, like, bro, what is a 5-minute break going to do for you? Exactly. For all the times I've used this technique, that 5-minute break ended up being a 5-hour period of doom scrolling on social media. Yeah. So for that reason, it's going into the C tier. And that's even me being generous. I'm sorry to all of your fans, but you're not just that girl. But even with it getting a C, it still has to take the lead for now. But can pre-studying do better? Pre-studying means studying before your class. Basically, it is taking about 15 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on how long you can go, and studying a topic before it is taught in class. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is one of my own favorite study weapons because it makes me feel armed and ready to face the lecture rather than having this internal feeling of doom whenever I'm in class. But here's the catch. When you're in an unorganized school system, you can easily get confused on what the next topic is. But because I've seen more than enough results with this has to go into the A tier. Bye-bye, Pomodoro. Next up, flashcards. That's right, your favorite, your mother's favorite, your grandmother's favorite, but definitely not my favorite. You know why? It's time wasting. I don't know about you, but me being a medical student and having a shitload of work to study every day, writing some bunch of information on a piece of paper and flipping it over and over, it's not just gonna work for me. But listen, I'm not striking it out as completely useless because it does work sometimes, but I'm just saying, it may not be as effective as other study techniques we'll be talking about further down in this video. So, it's going to go to the C tier. None of these study techniques are coming close to pre-studying. Do we have a winner already? No other way to know than to talk about studying every day. I'm sorry, I already have a bias towards this one because as basic as it sounds, it has taken my grades from being average and irritating to being awesome and, top student level. It does kind of feel like cheating because I get very amazing results from just doing the barest minimum of studying a few hours every day. So, definitely S tier material. Woo! Finally, pre-studying has been kicked off the chart. Yeah. Next up is studying in the morning. Honestly, I don't know how this is even a thing because what does it matter what time of day that you study? A subscriber once asked me what the best time was to study, and my answer still remains the same. The best time is the time you think you're ready. Stop being so specific that you eventually miss out on the actual point of studying. I'm getting so agitated, yo. D tier. The heck? Let's move on to highlighting and underlining, which I shortened as H and U. That sounds cool, right? Tell me it sounds cool. I remember I used to be an avid warrior of this particular technique. And now I'm just thinking, I remember when I lost my mind. For real, because all my papers is just be stained with unnecessary colors. I know that color coding does work for some people, but I just don't care for the aesthetics. I'm a hater, I agree. I'm literally one of those people on Instagram that I swipe across aesthetic posts because I just really don't care. But underlining on the other hand, that I love. And I know you may be thinking, did she just contradict herself? Mind your business. Now I'm wondering why I put these two together when I know that one is just going to take precedence over the other. Anyway, B tier. I can say studying every day is sitting strong, but can it stand well against cramming? This sounds so unhealthy and it is unhealthy to do, but I like it, okay? Especially when it's just a few minutes before my exam and I haven't gone through something that's so important. This has always been my lifesaver. But while cramming may feel like a fast road to success, you end up never truly understanding the core of the subject matter. And what's the point of cramming if you can't truly apply it to different scenarios later on? So, it has to go to the B tier. I'm ranking pretty good, right? Yeah, I know. I know. Remember that these study techniques are still competing to win the world's best certified study technique award. And you will never know who wins it except you stay to the end. So, hold on. This next one is a little bit tricky because one time it can seem like the next best thing after sliced bread, and another time it can be the most useless thing you've ever done. And this is writing notes. I'd say for me that this is helpful only when I'm preparing for theory or essay exams. It helps me create a good and clear roadmap of everything that I want to remember. And I explain just how I do that in my How to Memorize video. Shameless plug. But when I'm preparing for multiple choice based exams or oral exams, writing notes is just a flat out waste of time. And for that reason, be here. Trigger warning because you're about to get triggered. And it's all because of this next study technique. I can say that this is about the most hated and shamed on study technique. And it's no other than rereading notes. Now, if you're an OG in the studyverse, then you know that a lot of your favorites hate rereading. They absolutely hate the sound of it. But contrary to what most people say, this can actually turn out to be very helpful, depending on how you use it. If you're just passively going through your notes like you're reading a storybook all the time, then you shouldn't even consider yourself a student in the first place because what the heck? But if you're doing this and mixing it up with another S-tier study technique, which I'll be showing you later on in the video, it can actually turn out to be amazing. But because we're ranking this as though we are doing it alone, it's gonna have to go to the C tier. I'm actually questioning if this next one should actually even exist as a thing because it is procrastination.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Yes, most of you rather sit down and watch 100 study videos than pick your actual books to study. But don't click out of this video just yet because we're yet to award our winner. But until then, procrastination, trash tier. But can interleaving do better? Just because I'm a better English student than you, I'm going to have to explain what interleaving means like you're a 5-year-old.
She not talking to me like...
Interleaving basically means studying different subjects within a single study session rather than focusing on just one single subject. But to me, it doesn't really matter if I study just one subject because as a med student, just one subject alone is enough to cause more than enough trouble. If you know, you know. But notwithstanding, interleaving can actually bring some form of variety and make studying a little less boring and a little more interesting because we all know how studying can get. She don't play. But I'm gonna take this to the B tier just because I see the vision. I see it. So far, studying every day is still taking the lead. Is it ever going to find its match?
Hold my nuts.
Hold your nuts.
In all my years of studying, which is literally all the years I've spent on Earth,
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I've discovered that teaching others is actually a great way to know if you truly understand something or not. Most people even say that if you can teach what you've learned to a 5-year-old and they understand, then you can say that you know that thing through and through. So I'm not going to lie, it's a really helpful method. 8th year. Now I must warn you that we are getting into the territory of the ultimate, most popular, most favorite, most used study techniques. And while some of you may love it, a lot of you may actually get triggered. And I don't care. So we are starting off strong with group discussions. I can't believe that a lot of people are still doubting the power of group discussions. Like, it's literally the cherry on top. Like, it's literally fire, bro. Nothing else to say. But I know that the major issue most people have with this technique is that they do not find the right people. But trust me, once that part is done, you'll be ready to start flying high above the clouds. It's going into the A tier. Very spectacular. Yeah, that didn't hit. Next up, past questions, which is one of the many forms of active recall. Now, I think we may have found our match for studying every day. Yeah, you've been there for too long, man. You need to go.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I honestly cannot understand how anyone could possibly hate on doing past questions. Like, are you an enemy of progress or something? Doing past questions is like seeing the future and literally solving your exam questions before the day of the exam. Like, how cool is that? And sometimes these lecturers don't even want to stress themselves and set new questions, so they just end up repeating the same past questions that you have studied. And just like that, you've won the academic lottery. How cool. Now, I want you to be honest. If you know that doing past questions has saved your ugly behind one time or another, just type "saved my ugly behind" in the comment section so I'll know my brothers and sisters because I'm one of you. Needeth I to saith more? That sounds so Shakespeare. Never do that again. Past questions, straight to the S tier. Finally, studying every day doesn't have to take the lead anymore because past questions is in the room, baby. That one felt good. Not gonna lie, that one felt good to rip off. I know you've all been waiting for this moment, the moment where we crown our winner. Now to our final contestant, a very subtle yet popular lady. She goes by the name Spaced Repetition. That look ladylike, right? Anyway. She's honestly just a chill girl trying to make her appearance like the queen that she is. But is she going to be the queen of this award? We'll see about that. While I don't want to bore you on what she's all about, I'm going to use an example instead. It kind of works like this. Let's say you study parts of the body today. You are going to review it again in 2 days. Then you go again in a week. Then in 2 weeks, in a month, and so on. That's how spaced repetition works. And to give it extra points, it's actually one of the very few scientifically backed methods of effective studying. I also forgot to add that active recall was one of them too, so extra points for her. She's just a good girl in all ways. So after all that's been said, we have a decision to make. Does spaced repetition really have what it takes to go against past questions and get the award for itself? I kind of feel like I'm in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so don't kill my shine. Does spaced repetition really have all it takes to take the lead away from past questions and win the award of the world's best certified study technique award? No, she's going into the 8th year. And you know what that means. Past questions gets the lead and takes the crown home. Yay! Oh, I totally forgot that y'all are still here. What are you saying? Oh, you think this was unfair? Go and shoot your own video. See you next week Saturday. See you next week Saturday.